class 6. How are you all? So we have been studying chapter number 9. Yes. So the name of chapter number 9 is living organism and surrounding. Yes. So last time we studied about biotic components or biotic components, adaptation, and we also had gone through the different types of adaptation, and we had been studying about the adaptation of camel. Yes, we had been studying about the adaptation of camel, as you can see on the screen. Yes, so let's study these adaptation. Then we will revise. First of all, we will study these two adaptation. Then we will revise whatever we studied in previous class. Okay. So as you can see, I have written two adaptation. Adaptation number one: fate stored in hump. Yes, and because camel has hump in which fate is stored. Yes, what is the work of this hump? Because it stored the fate, so it helped it to survive, because it helped it to survive when there is no availability of food or water. In that condition it helps. And now look the picture of eye. Look the picture of eye of camel. Look the picture of eye of camel. As you can see in the picture that they have long hair around the eyes. Yes, their eye is surrounded by long hair. So they have two rows of long eyelashes. They have two rows of eyelashes, so which protect them from the sand, because from the soil particle, because you know that in Rajasthan wind blow so very fast, so it protect from the against blowing sand and the sunlight. Yes, it also protect from the sunlight. So these are the two adaptation. So these are the two adaptation. So what is adaptation? What do you mean by adaptation? Yes, can you tell me what do you mean by adaptation? So you know that adaptation, the presence of certain specific feature. Yes, the presence of certain specific feature or habitats which enables plants or animal to live, animal to adjust and live in surroundings, is known as adaptation. So the specific feature of plants and animal and habitat which enable them to live in surrounding is known as adaptation. So we know that there are two type of adaptation. Yes, terrestrial adaptation and aquatic adaptation. There are two type of adaptation: terrestrial adaptation and aquatic adaptation. So you know that terrestrial adaptation can be divided into three category. Terrestrial adaptation can be divided into three category. One is desert adaptation, second is mountain adaptation, third is grassland adaptation. Yes, desert adaptation, mountain adaptation, grassland adaptation. So these are three different types of adaptation. Yes, and we also studied about the habitat. What is habitat? What is habitat? The surrounding where an organism live is known as its habitat. Yes, the surrounding where an organism live is known as its habitat. There are two type of components of habitat. Yes, there are two type of component of habitat: biotic components and abiotic components. Yes, am I right? Biotic component and abiotic components. Okay, so what are biotic components? The living things of a habitat are known as biotic components. The living things of a habitat are known as biotic components. So plants, animal are the biotic component. And what is the meaning of abiotic component? The non-living things are known as abiotic component, like air, water, soil. I hope you understood. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, kids, let's see some more adaptation of camel. So you know that uh, the camel have hump in which weight is stored, and second adaptation is two rows for long eyelashes, so which protect from blowing sand. Next is, as you can see, can you see the feet of the camel? Can you see the picture of feet of the camel? Yes. So you know that, kids, uh, they have broad flat leathery pad. Yes, their feet are actually leathery, means the bottom of the feet actually have the leathery pad. So they have broad flat leathery pad at the bottom of their hooves. Yes, at the bottom of their hooves they have leathery pad. What is the benefit of it? Because you know that a lot of soil, lot desert is in Rajasthan. So uh, if we try to walk in soil, we cannot walk easily. But the camel have leathery flat pad which help them to walk, easily. Yes, because of broad flat leathery pad, when pads spread out, when the camel place its feet on the ground, yes, when they walk, they put the feet the feet on the ground. This, so because of pad spread, so pad spread out when they put the feet, they pad spread out when they place its feet on the ground, thus preventing the camel from sinking into the ground. Yes, so their feet do not sink into the ground. Because of it, their feet do not sink into the ground. I hope you understood. Let's see two more adaptation of camel. Let's move on the next point. Okay, so as you can see, first is a long strong leg. Yes, next adaptation, as you can see, long strong leg. Yes, the camel have long leg. The camel, and these legs are very strong also. Long, strong. Yes. So because of strong and long leg, they can easily carry, they can easily take away heavy load for long distance. Yes, they can easily take away long distance. You might have seen the camel cart in Rajasthan. So it helps to carry heavy loads, so they can easily walk. Okay, keep its body further away from the hot sand. Yes, this is also the reason. What is the reason? Because their main body, the main body is protected from the hot sand. Yes, their body does not get overheated because of their long strong leg, which protect their body from the hot sand. Okay, next adaptation, as you can see on the screen, thick leathery patches on the knees. Yes, they have leathery patches on the knee. Yes, leathery structure on the knees. They have leathery shape on the knees. What is the function of leathery shape? Because of it, they can sit in the easily in the soil, and it help, it protect their knees, it protect their knees from hot sand, it protect their feet from the sand. So it protect it from the getting burned when it kneels on the hot deserts. Yes, when the camel kneels, means when the camel sit in hot desert sand, because of leathery patches, their knees do not burn, their knees do not burn. This is the main benefit of it. I hope you understood. Now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, now let's talk about the animals adaptation in grassland. Yes, so grassy area in which many animals live. Yes, like dog, snakes, there are many small and many big animals live. Yes, snake, dog, lizards, mice. So they lives in grass. Why do they live in grass? Because grass is long. That's why these animals can easily hide in the grass. That's why these animals can easily hide in the grass. So some animals are very small, such as mice, dogs, snakes, lizards, and insects. These animals can hide easily in the grass. Okay, and there are many animals which are very big, like lion, zebra, giraffe. Yeah, they are too big. And because the grass can be so long, because of grass they hide, and they attack on their prey. They can easily hunt. Yes, they can easily hunt. So they use their speed by hiding and attack on deer to kill. So there are also large animals such as elephants, lions, zebra, giraffe, cheetah, etc. These animals are too large to hide in the ground. So they protect themselves in other way. Yes, they also protect themselves in such as by speed or camouflage. You can say some animals. Some animals like elephant, giraffe, rhinoceros, they are very very large. Yes, so that predator cannot easily attack a healthy adult. Yes, so predator cannot attack on giraffe, elephant, so they can protect themselves because of large grass. Yes, and many animals live in a large group. Yes, there are many animals live in group. So why do they live in group in grassland? To protect themselves. They gives protection from the predators. There are more eyes to spot danger, and strong members around. So and they have high sensitive, their they have high sensitive, so they can easily protect themselves. They can easily protect themselves. Okay, I hope mm, you understood. And now let's move on the next point. Okay, so as you can see, I have shown you the picture of grassland area and snow area. Yes, so in snow area, different animals live. Yes, they have long hair. They have long hair. They have white fur, white body. So they also have different features to protect them. Look the center picture. Center picture is actually showing the grassland area, and the grasses grow from the base. If we talk about the features of grass, grasses grow from the base, and creeping stem above the ground are called as stolons, and those below the ground are called rhizomes. As these creeping stems spread out, shoots grow up and produce leaves. The deep spreading root system make sure that even in drought the plants are able to get water. Long narrow leaves like grass do not lose as much water in the heat as big leaves do. Grass can be cut quite close to the ground. Yes, we can cut easily quite to the ground, and new leaves sprout from the base of the plant. This means that grasses can be eaten and walked on by animals. Yes, okay. So if because grasses actually have long narrow leaves, so it helps them, uh, and they do not lose as much water in heat as big leaves do. Yes, they have long narrow, but don't have big leaves. Yes, so it helps them. Do not lose so much water. Grass can easily be cut. Okay, and remember, grasses grow from the base. Okay, I hope you understood about it. Now let's talk about the plants which are found in water, like submerged plant. Okay, let's move on the next point. Okay, so now let's talk about the submerged plant. Submerged plant means those plants which half parts is in the water and half part is above the water. Means submerged plants, you can see their leaves. You can see their leaves at the top. Yes, you can easily see their leaves which are found at the top. So if these plants are removed from the water, they hang limpy. Yes, they hang limpy. their because their roots are so soft, their all parts are very soft. They have waxy leaves, waxy body. So if these plants are removed from, they hang limply, and they are normally supported by water. Yes, actually water support them. So otherwise there is no, they do not have any strength. They are not so strong. Okay, and they are roots are often reduced, and their main function is anchorage. Yes, so means what their main function is just to protect themselves. Yes, so they float in the water, you might have seen they float. Okay, and the submerged leaf are oftenly highly dissected or divided. Yes, their leaves are actually highly divided. You can easily see, you can easily find, you might have seen in the water. So it also minimize water resistance. It also minimize water resistance. Yes, they minimize water resistance. Otherwise, water can completely destroy their body because of this property. They can survive easily in the water. Okay, so they are actually submerged plant, means half inside the water, half outside. Now let's talk about the floating plant. Yes, which float in the water. Let's move on the next point. Well, floating plants. Let's talk about the floating plants. Yes, kids, you might have seen water lily. If you know about water lily, you might have heard. So they are actually two types. Yes, those which are rooted with floating leaves. Yes, they are those plants which are rooted with floating leaves, and second is those which are not rooted. So we can divide floating plant into two category. Okay, rooted with floating leaf and not rooted with floating leaf, but just float on the surface. Like which plants rooted with floating leaves, which plants rooted with floating leaves. Water lily is rooted with, and which plants are not rooted, they just float on the surface. Duckweeds float on the surface. And floating leaves are generally tough. Yes, the leaves are really tough because they have withstand to weather and water movement. Yes, they can easily sustain the weather movement or water movement. So that's why they easily survive. And if we talk about the stomata, their stomata is present on upper surface. Yes, and upper surface is actually waxy. Well, most of the plant of the water are actually have waxy surface. Yes, so stomata are found on the upper surface of the leaf, which help them to breathe in. Yes, and upper surface has a thick waxy cuticle to repel water. Yes, because of this waxy surface, they it protect their leaves. Yes, it repel the water, and it also help to keep stomata clean. Yes, if the stomata will not be clean because of water, they will die. So but they have weak stem, so it makes a canopy of leaves. They have a weak stem. Remember, well, all the plants have, most of the plants of water have weak stem. Yes, and they have waxy surface. Stomata is found on the upper surface. So remember, guys, there are two type of floating plants. Yes, rooted with floating leaves and not rooted with floating leaves. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, so as you can see the picture of penguin and turtle. Yes, as you can see penguin. So penguin is found on polar region. Penguin is found on polar region area. Yes, and they have white body. Because polar region is that area which actually covered with snow. Most of the part throughout the year covered with snow, and in polar region is 6 month is day and 6 month is night. Yes, means the sun does not set for 6 months and sun does not rise for next 6 months. Okay, so they have a special some features. They have different adaptation. They have white body, so they can easily hide themselves in the snow, because why snow is white, so they can easily hide from the predator. Okay, and they also have fatty skin, but they cannot fly it. Yes, they cannot fly. They cannot fly. But one more special feature is because of they have webbed feet. They have webbed feet, long webbed feet, long spread webbed feet, which help them to easily swim in the water. Yes, because of these long webbed feet, they can easily swim in the water. Okay, and their body also have fatty skin. Okay, so which protect them from the winter, and as you can see in the picture, they lives in together. Yes, they lives in, they huddle together. Huddle, they huddle together to keep their body warm. To keep their body warm, they lives together. Okay. Mm. So I hope you understood about aquatic animals and terrestrial animal. Okay, now let's move on the next point. Okay, it's now our chapter is going to finish. Last three questions. It's time to ask question from you. Then we will study chapter number 10. Okay, so question number, write the adaptation of camel. Yes, what are the adaptation of camel? Yes, adaptation number one, they have hump in which fat is stored. They have hump in which fat is stored. So what is the function of hump? It helps to survive. Second adaptation is they have two rows of long ilices which protect against blowing sand and the sun. Yes. And next adaptation is they have broad, flat, leathery pad. So what is the function of broad, flat, leathery pad which is found at the bottom of their hooves? So pad spread out when the camel places its feet on the ground, thus preventing the camel from sinking into the ground. And two more adaptation. First is a long strong have. They have long strong leg. They have long strong leg, so which help them easily to carry the load over long distance and keep its body further away from the hot sun. And next is thick leathery patches. Yes, they have thick leathery patches on the knees, so which protect it from getting burned when it kneels on the hot desert sand. Okay, next question. Question number 2 is write the name of some grassland animal. Yes, write the name of some grassland animal. You know, in grassland, the grass is so long. Yes, some animals are very small, such as mice, dog, snakes, lizard, insect. These animals can easily hide in the long grass of the grassland. And there are so large animals such as elephant, lion, zebra, giraffe, cheetah. These animals are too large to hide in the grass, so they protect themselves in other way. So these are the animals which can easily protect, and many animals are so large, like elephant, giraffe, rhinoceros. So they are large, but that predator cannot easily attack because of large, big, long grass. Next question, question number 3. Write the adaptation of floating plants. Yes, what are the adaptation of floating plants? So there are two type of floating plants. First is those which are rooted with floating leaves, for example water lily, and second is those which are not rooted with leaves like duckweed. So floating leaves are generally tough. First adaptation is floating leaves of floating plant are generally tough, so they can easily withstand the weather and movement. Second is the stomata are found only on the upper surface of the leaf. Yes. And third is upper surface have thick waxy cuticle. Yes, thick waxy surface to repel water and help to keep with stomata open and clear. And next is they have weak stem. Okay. I hope you understood. Now the chapter is also finished. Now we will meet with a new chapter. Till then, bye bye.